"You're fired." Mira Chen stared at her boss across the mahogany desk, the words hitting her like a physical blow. 3 years of 16-hour days, sacrificed weekends, and skipped meals gone into words. Fired? Her voice came out steadier than she felt. "Marcus, I just closed the Brennan account. That's 15 million in revenue." Marcus Holt had the decency to look uncomfortable, but only barely. "The merger changes things. Corporate restructuring. You understand." She understood perfectly. She understood that Jennifer from accounting, who happened to be dating the new VP, would be taking her position. She understood that loyalty meant nothing in corporate America. She understood that her rent was due in 8 days, and her savings account was laughing at her. "I need you to clear your desk by end of day," Marcus continued, already looking past her toward his next meeting. Mira stood, spine straight, refusing to give him the satisfaction of seeing her crumble. "I'll be out in an hour." She walked out of his office with her head high, made it to her cubicle, and then reality crashed over her like a tsunami. 3 years, gone. Her hands shook as she pulled the cardboard box from under her desk. The pathetic collection of her work life fit easily. A coffee mug from the company Christmas party, a succulent that had somehow survived her care. "Mira?" Her colleague David appeared, concern written across his face. "Is it true?" Apparently. She wrapped the mug in tissue paper with mechanical precision. If she focused on the small tasks, she wouldn't fall apart. "Corporate restructuring. That's such bull." "It's fine." She cut him off. Because if he was kind to her right now, she'd lose it completely. "I'll land on my feet." Liar, her brain whispered. 45 minutes later, she stepped into the elevator with her box of belongings, hitting the button for the ground floor. The doors started to close freedom. Finally, when a hand shot through, forcing them back open, a man stepped in, and Mira's breath caught. He was tall, easily over 6 feet, with dark hair, slightly disheveled, as if he'd been running his hands through it, sharp jawline, perfectly tailored charcoal suit that probably cost more than her monthly rent, and eyes the color of storm clouds. He carried himself with the quiet confidence of someone who owned the world and knew it. Their eyes met. The air in the elevator changed, became electric. Mira felt it down to her bones, a recognition she couldn't explain, a pull that defied logic. Like every romance novel she'd ever secretly devoured had been telling the truth about this exact moment. Love at first sight is a myth, her rational brain insisted. Her racing heart disagreed. He seemed equally frozen, gray eyes widening slightly as he stared at her. 1 second stretched into 5. The elevator doors tried to close again. "Which floor?" Mira managed, her voice barely above a whisper. He blinked, seeming to shake himself from whatever trance had gripped him. "Ground." She nodded. She'd already pressed it. The doors finally slid shut, and closing them in the small space, silence descended, but it wasn't awkward. It was charged. Mira could feel his gaze on her, could sense him stealing glances the same way she was. The elevator jolted, then stopped. The lights flickered once before the emergency backup illuminated, casting everything in an eerie yellow glow. "You've got to be kidding me," Mira muttered, hitting the ground floor button repeatedly. Nothing. She tried the door open button. Still nothing. "I don't think that's going to help." His voice was deep, rich, with an edge of amusement that made her spine tingle. "Thank you for that observation." She jabbed the emergency call button instead. "Service elevator maintenance is temporarily unavailable. Please remain calm. We will have you moving shortly." The automated voice was infuriatingly cheerful. Mira closed her eyes, fighting the hysterical laugh building in her chest. Of course this was how her day would end. Fired and trapped in an elevator with the most attractive man she'd ever seen in real life. Rough day? He'd moved closer without her noticing, close enough that she could smell his cologne, something expensive and woodsy that made her want to lean in. "You could say that." She gestured to her pathetic box. "Just got fired." Something flashed across his face. Anger, maybe? "They're idiots. You don't even know me." "I know enough." His eyes held hers with an intensity that stole her breath. "Anyone who puts together a presentation defending the preservation of the employee wellness program, risking their own position to do it, isn't someone who should be fired." Mira's heart stopped. "How do you?" "I was in the back of the conference room last month. Your presentation was brilliant, passionate, You actually gave a damn about people, not just profit margins. She remembered that presentation, remembered pouring her heart into defending programs that made life better for working parents, for people struggling with mental health, for humans who weren't just cogs in a machine. She'd thought she was presenting to middle management for all the good it did, she said bitterly. Corporate restructuring waits for no one. Corporate restructuring is often just code for, we're making stupid decisions. He set down his own briefcase, settling against the elevator wall like he planned to stay a while. I'm Damien. By the way, Damien Cross. The name hit her like lightning. Damien Cross, CEO of Cross Industries, Billionaire. The man who'd built a tech empire from nothing and now sat on half the boards in the city. His face graced business magazines the way models grace fashion ones. And she'd just complained about corporate restructuring to probably the most corporate person in the building. Oh God. Mira pressed her hands to her face. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean. Don't. His voice was gentle but firm. Don't apologize for having an opinion. Don't make yourself smaller. He paused. I have a feeling you've been doing that a lot. She had. For 3 years, she'd swallowed her objections, softened her ideas, played the game. And where had it gotten her? Fired anyway. Mira, she said finally. Mira Chen. Mira. He said her name like he was tasting it, testing how it felt in his mouth. Beautiful name. Heat flooded her cheeks. This couldn't be real. Men like Damien Cross didn't flirt with unemployed mid-level executives in stuck elevators. This was shock, proximity, the universe playing a cruel joke. So, he continued, seemingly unaware of her internal crisis. What are you going to do next? Panic? The word escaped before she could stop it. Sorry. I don't know. Update my resume. Apply everywhere. Try not to lose my apartment. Or, Damien said slowly, you could work for me. Mira's laugh was sharp, disbelieving. Right. Because that's how job offers work. I'm serious. He pulled out his phone, typed something quickly, then showed her the screen. It was a job posting, Director of Employee Relations, Cross Industries. Salary that made her current former paycheck look like pocket change. I've had this position open for 3 months, Damien explained. 73 interviews. No one gets it. They talk about synergy and optimization and core competencies. Corporate speak. That means nothing. His eyes found hers again. And that electric current surged between them. You get it. You care about actual people. You're offering me a job because of one presentation you saw? I'm offering you an interview because of that presentation. He smiled, and it transformed his entire face from intimidating to devastating. I'm offering you the job because of the last 5 minutes. That's insane. Probably. He didn't look bothered by the assessment. But I built a billion-dollar company on instinct and calculated risks. My instinct says you're exactly what Cross Industries needs. He paused, voice dropping. What I need. The last 3 words hung in the air between them, heavy with meaning that went far beyond professional. Mira's heart hammered against her ribs. This wasn't real. This didn't happen to people like her. You don't know me. Not yet. Damien stepped closer, close enough that she had to tilt her head back to maintain eye contact. But I'd like to. Very much. This is crazy, she whispered. Is it? His hand came up, stopping just short of touching her face, asking permission with his eyes. Tell me you don't feel this connection. Tell me I'm imagining it. She couldn't, because she felt it too, this impossible, inexplicable knowing. Like she'd been waiting her whole life for this elevator to break down, for this exact moment. I feel it, she admitted. His smile was brilliant. Then have dinner with me. Tonight, we'll discuss the position, terms, everything professional. His thumb brushed her cheek, the barest whisper of contact that sent electricity racing through her. And then we'll discuss everything else. Everything else? Like why? I can't stop staring at you. Like why? I walked into this elevator and forgot how to breathe. Like why I'm standing here making a fool of myself over a woman whose last name I learned 3 minutes ago. Mira's breath caught. This was madness. Beautiful, terrifying madness. I don't date employers, she heard herself say. Good thing you don't work for me yet. Damien's grin was pure mischief. Technically, you're unemployed, which means tonight, we're just 2 people having dinner. And tomorrow, we figure it out. His expression sobered, became earnest in a way that made her chest ache. I won't lie to you, Mira. I want both. I want you working beside me, making cross industries better. And I want. He seemed to struggle for words. I want to know everything. Your favorite book. What you drink in the morning. What makes you laugh. I want to earn the right to make you smile like that every day. Like what? Like you are right now. She hadn't realized she was smiling, but she was the kind of helpless, giddy smile she thought only existed in movies. One dinner, she conceded, to discuss the job, and everything else? We'll see. The elevator jolted back to life with a mechanical groan, beginning its descent. They sprang apart like guilty teenagers, though Damien's eyes never left her face. My card? He pressed it into her hand as the doors opened to the lobby. I'll send a car at 7. Wear whatever makes you feel powerful. Then he was gone, striding across the marble lobby like he owned it, which Mira realized he probably did. He owned half the city. She looked down at the elegant business card in her hand, then at her box of sad office supplies. This morning, she'd woken up with a job she hated and a life she'd settled for. Now she was unemployed, terrified, and had a date with a billionaire who looked at her like she was the only person in the world. Her phone buzzed. An unknown number. Your address? The car needs to know where to pick up the most fascinating woman I've ever met. DC. Mira bit her lip, fighting the smile and failing. She typed back her address, then added, how did you get my number? Corporate directory. Technically stalking. We'll apologize profusely over dinner. Wear the blue dress. What blue dress? Whatever blue dress you choose. You'll look stunning in it, I'm sure. She laughed out loud in the middle of the lobby, earning stares from passing business people. She didn't care. Confident, aren't you? Only about the important things. See you at 7. Mira Chen. The restaurant was exclusive in the way only places without signs could be. Mira had worn navy clothes, enough to blue and felt simultaneously overdressed and underprepared. Damien stood when she entered, and the look on his face made every anxiety dissolve. Devastating, he said simply. You're absolutely devastating. It's just a dress. It's not the dress. He pulled out her chair, leaned close enough to whisper, it's you. Dinner was supposed to be about the job. It wasn't. They talked about everything else instead. Her grandmother who raised her, who taught her that kindness was strength, not weakness. His parents who died when he was 19, leaving him with nothing but debt and determination. Books they loved, dreams they'd shelved, fears they rarely admitted. I'm terrified, Mira confessed over dessert, that this is a dream. That I'll wake up still fired, still struggling, and you'll have been my imagination working overtime. Damien reached across the table, laced his fingers through hers. I'm terrified too. Of what? You're Damien Cross. You're not afraid of anything. I'm afraid, he said quietly, that you'll realize I'm just a man who got lucky. That the mythology is bigger than the reality. That I'm not worth the risk you're taking by being here. Mira squeezed his hand. You are though, worth it. How do you know? Same way you knew to offer me the job. Instinct. His smile could have powered the city. Marry me. Mira choked on her wine. What? Too soon? He didn't look embarrassed. Fair. Let me rephrase. Have breakfast with me tomorrow, and lunch, and dinner tomorrow night, and every meal after that until you agree to marry me. You're insane. About you? Absolutely. He stood, pulled her to her feet. Dance with me. There's no music. There's always music when you're around. He was right. The restaurant had a small jazz band. She hadn't noticed. And suddenly they were swaying together, his hand at her waist, her head against his chest, where she could hear his racing heart. I know this is fast, Damien murmured against her hair. I know it defies logic, but I've spent my whole life calculating risks and returns. And this? He pulled back to look at her. You? This is the surest thing I've ever known. I got fired this morning. Best thing that ever happened to both of us. Mira laughed, because he was right. If Marcus hadn't fired her, she never would have been in that elevator. Never would have met storm gray eyes and felt the world shift. The job, she said. We should actually discuss it. Monday. Damien kissed her forehead, soft and reverent. Tonight is just us. Tomorrow is just us. Monday, we'll navigate the professional complications. And if we can't, then I'll step down, build something new. I'm good at that. His thumb traced her jaw. But I'm not good at walking away from the best thing that's ever happened to me. We just met. I know. His forehead rested against hers. Doesn't change the truth of it. And standing there, swaying to jazz in an exclusive restaurant, with a man she'd known for hours, but felt like she'd known forever. Mira believed him. Sometimes love at first sight wasn't a myth. Sometimes it was a broken elevator and perfect timing. Sometimes it was everything. Okay, she whispered. Okay, to breakfast, and lunch, and every meal. She pulled back, eyes shining, and eventually, probably, to the insane proposal you made 30 seconds after dessert. Damien's laugh was pure joy. I'm holding you to that. I'm counting on it. He kissed her then, soft and sure and full of promise. And Mira, who'd started the day fired and hopeless, ended it employed and impossibly, perfectly in love. The best risks, she was learning, were the ones that felt like coming home. If this story made you believe in perfect timing and second chances, share it with someone who needs hope today. Subscribe for more tales of love that defies logic and captures hearts. Because sometimes, the elevator breaks down exactly when it should. Haha.